If you're anything like me, then you know that taking a nice long hot shower every morning does a whole lot more than just get you clean. It also sort of sets the tone with a therapeutic advantage that can be matched by nothing other than maybe a cup of coffee. Well, when you're on a road trip like this, if you have the chance to take a $2 shower versus the $12 truck stop shower, well, you take it. And I did. In fact, I thought that I had stumbled upon bliss for the morning. Well, road karma has its own plans. And so that $2 shower was quickly undone just a few hours later by finding myself axles deep in mud. So if you watch my last video, then you have some idea just how reluctant I was to have to leave that beautiful location just north of Ketchum, Idaho. But being that we were sort of at that limit and time to leave, we honored the restrictions. We packed up, we waved goodbye to our sheep herding friends, and we head north to Stanley, Idaho, just at the base of the Sawtooth Mountains. Now there we found a campground called the Iron Creek Campground. And it was beautiful. 10-day limits, absolutely free, right next to the water. It was a very nice place to sort of chill out for a bit. Now for me, I sort of found myself in a physical funk. Not really a mental funk or anything like that. Just, I don't know if I ate something or what the deal was, but I didn't feel well. But that was a nice place to sort of hold over for a few days. Recharge my batteries. And Chaz and Lucky had absolutely no complaints at all. They had an adversarial relationship with squirrels, which apparently is getting kind of psychotic at times, but they had fun nonetheless. Now, we didn't have a great view at all of the Sawtooth Mountains because the trees around us were a bit dense, but it was still a great place to be. I did send the drone up to try to get a better image for us, and you can see that here, but yeah, it was a nice place to be, and it was certainly quiet. Although we were next to the main road that would go up to the paid campground and to the trailhead, so they got a fair amount of traffic at times. But after checking the weather and starting to see that things were starting to cool down a bit, and that we might be able to get into Salt Lake City under 90 degrees, I thought that might be prudent to set course for Salt Lake City to go see family there within the next week and a half or so. Well, on the way, we passed by Redfish Lake. But while we weren't going to camp there, it was a nice sort of detour to take. But on that detour, we found that they offered laundry services and hot showers for $2. So we did our laundry. I took my glorious hot shower, and I sort of thought to myself, yeah, this is a good day. We found trash easy. We were able to fill up our water easy, take a shower for $2, laundry, dump our stuff. There was a grocery store down the road. Yeah, this is going to be a good day. Not to mention that with a hot shower, I was thinking at that time, man, am I going to sleep good tonight? Yeah, I didn't sleep at all that night. On the way back, I decided to stop, do maybe a 2-day or 3-day holdover at Magic Reservoir, which is right on our way sort of into Twin Falls and then ultimately Salt Lake City bound. So when we get there, I find this part of the reservoir, and it's gorgeous. And I'm thinking, God, what a great end to this day. I'm glad I put in that extra effort to find this location. Right where the water was, just above the water, I see a truck and a travel trailer. And I think, okay, I can get there. So I pull off the road that I think takes me there, and I drive down the road a bit, and I realize, oh, that's not how they got there. They got there through going down farther and then to another location. So I decided to turn around. Now, this road that I'm on is dry. It looks like it's probably actually a great place to camp, but I decided to turn around. And when I turned to the left, I turned into soft mud with this cakey dry layer across it so that it looks like it's absolutely dry, but it ain't. So just a few hours earlier, I was reeling from this, this glorious therapeutic hot shower, and then now I am up to my ass in mud. So I take out the shovel, I try to get it out, try to get the van out. I just dig a deeper hole. I actually disassembled part of my bed to take out wood to shove underneath the tire. Ended up digging it even deeper. I went down to that guy that I was talking about before where I saw the travel trailer to see if he had any traction mats or could help any way he could. He couldn't, but he did offer me some firewood that I could use to shove more wood under the tires. I took that. Now this is like a half mile away, right? And I did this up until about 10 o'clock at night, at which point I called the local lodge to see if they knew of anybody that might be able to extricate me in the morning. No answer. I called the tow company and they said, well, we'll call you back about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning and we'll let you know what to expect. And they did, and they told me when they would be out, and they came out exactly when they said they were going to come out, and they made it look relatively easy. But one thing was clear, I was not getting out of this mess by myself. Now, I should mention that this is an expensive mistake. This is a $440 mistake. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, on the bright side, when he came out and he originally looked at me, he goes, oh, dude, you're in a bad spot. He said, here's the deal. It's going to cost you $500. But because of where you are, there is a fair chance that we're going to have to call another tow truck out to get my tow truck out that's trying to get you out. So you might want to be prepared for a $1,000 tow. And of course, AAA doesn't handle any of this stuff. Now, fortunately, it wasn't as bad as it seemed. Where I had turned around was only 30 feet away from a dry part, where had I turned around there, it wouldn't have been a big deal. And what he thought was going to be problematic for the tow truck seemed to be really little of an issue. And one thing I will say is that when I went down to that area, there is this, I don't want to call it a creek, but there's a runoff of water, and I've gotten reasonably adept at just shooting through water. If it looks like I'm not going to get stuck, or if there's obviously not like a pothole in there somewhere. And he was worried about getting the tow truck through there, but it worked out okay. But anyway, so after we got this thing pulled out, I went down the road to where that one guy, where I found out how the one guy got down there, and I sort of used that as a staging area to wash everything, wash my shoes off that were caked in mud. I tried to use my floor mats at one point to try to get traction, so I had to wash those off. It was a mess. And I took a nap, got up, decided, let me find another place along the reservoir to go. Let me ask you a question. Does this seem like a paved road to you? Yeah, well, technically, yeah, it is a paved road, but God, what a sorry excuse for a paved road. Anyway, this is pretty typical of my adventure of sort of driving around this lake. And I decided enough is enough. I'm going to find another place local that's down the road and sort of hang over for maybe a day or two. And that's where I am now. I'm at Stanton Crossing. It's a free campground right off the side of the highway. And it's unremarkable, but quite welcome and appreciated. I wish that I could report that everything was boring and that nothing happened, but that's not the case. So next we're gonna pack up here after I get this video uploaded, hopefully today or tonight, and head on out tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know yet. I do have a local project that I want to check on, and we'll see how well that goes. But for now, I'm Tim, and I am untethered, and still a little muddy.
Lately I've been thinking about the end of time, and whether I could write a song so true that you'd be mine, mine, mine. It's worth a try. My mind's been drifting towards the end of days, but I can reel it back if you decide you want to stay, stay.